Going to izakaya is popular among both Japanese people and foreigners. Izakayas are traditional Japanese bars and are casual places where you can go to eat and drink. They usually have huge menus consisting of mostly Japanese food. Most izakaya dishes come in small portions similar to tapas that everyone can share. A lot of companies host their company dinners or after-work drinking sessions in izakayas, and it's also a popular spot for groups of friends. If you've ever walked along the streets in Shibuya or Shinjuku and been approached by someone holding a small menu and luring you into their restaurants, the restaurants are probably somewhat of an izakaya. There are many different kinds of izakayas, from izakaya chains to local izakayas to high-end izakayas and even fusion izakayas. You might be thinking, why do people love going to izakayas so much? Well, first of all, izakayas are very much about sharing. The size of each dish is relatively small, making it perfect for you to try and sample different kinds as opposed to regular restaurants where everyone orders just their own meal. Izakayas are usually quite affordable as well. There are some izakayas where each plate costs only 300 yen, which is around $3 from a plate with 2 skewers, a plate of gyoza, a hot plate of rice, a bowl of noodles, a beer, each for just 300 yen. Let's talk about some food and drinks you should try in izakaya. Most restaurants you find in Japan tend to be relatively quiet, where people tend to keep to themselves. Izakayas are one of the few places where you can be louder without judgment. It is a normal sight to see drunk Japanese people tumbling around in izakayas, laughing and talking loudly. A lot of izakayas also have private rooms or areas so you and your group can have some privacy. A lot of apartments in Japan, especially big cities, are small and not soundproof, so inviting your friends over for a fun gathering or a party is not really common. So these private areas in izakayas are the next best options. It's very normal for people to spend hours and hours in izakayas right into the wee hours of the morning. Seating is comfortable and cozy, so you can very easily lose track of time. But during busy hours, you might get a limited sitting of 2 to 3 hours, but that's still plenty of time to get food, get your drinks, and have fun. What to drink in izakaya? You'll be surprised by how many drinks are on an izakaya menu. Here are a few classic drinks that you should try out. There will be both Western and Japanese alcohol. If you're not familiar with Japanese alcohol, check out our video over here about all the different types of Japanese alcohol you should try. First, let's talk about beer. Izakayas usually have a few beers for you to choose from. It's probably the most common option for people to pick when visiting an izakaya. Then there's Nihonshu, which is sake. Most izakayas don't specialize in Nihonshu, so you might not be able to find a wide range of options, but it's absolutely a good place to dip your toes into the Nihonshu scene. Then there's highball. Highball is a whiskey mixed with soda. It's fascinating to see highball on tap, where the whiskey and soda mix is pre-made. The popularity of highball has grown a lot over the past few years, and it is a must-try. Then we've also got shochu. Shochu is basically Japanese vodka made with grains or vegetables. In izakayas, shochu is usually served with water, either cold or hot. When in doubt, you can ask the servers for their recommendations. You might have heard of sawa. Sawa is a mixture of shochu and different types of juice. It's very common in Japan, especially in izakayas, to get drinks like lemon sour, grapefruit sour, and different types of sour. When in doubt, you should try one of these sours to kick off your night. Then we've got umeshu. If you've never tried umeshu, you have to. It is a plum wine, a little sweet with a tiny twist. You can have it on the rocks, straight, or mixed with soda. I would personally recommend trying it on the rocks. It is very easy to drink, and before you know it, you'll realize you're drunk. Then we've also got cocktails. You can get your typical Western cocktails in izakayas like gin tonic, Moscow Mule, rum and coke, and so on. Don't expect them to be strong though, since most of them have only a small amount of alcohol in them. Of course, that depends on the particular izakaya that you go to. Another common liquor is cassis. Cassis is probably the most popular liquor option for people that don't really like alcohol or don't really have a high tolerance. Cassis is a black currant liquor, and people usually drink it with orange juice or soda. It's also a good drink to end with your night out since it's quite refreshing. Now we've talked about what to drink in izakaya, let's have a look at what to eat in izakaya. The first must-try dish for you is gyoza. You can usually get grilled gyoza or pan-fried gyoza in izakayas. Most of them have pork mixed with vegetable stuffing. They tend to come in 5 or 6 pieces, and you can always order more if you like. Another must-try dish is tamagoyaki. Tamagoyaki is an omelette. It might sound basic and simple, but trust me, they're extremely tasty. When thinking about what to eat in an izakaya, this is definitely a lot of people's go-to choice. Some izakayas also have different styles or toppings to go with your tamagoyaki, adding something different to the dish. Another common dish to eat in izakaya is edamame. Just like chips, edamame is something you probably can't stop reaching out for and eating. It's bean pods that has been steamed or boiled with a hint of salt. It's simple to eat and definitely an easy finger food to have. Then we've got karaage. karage. This deep fried chicken dish is usually the go-to order for izakaya lovers, the perfect dish when thinking about what to eat. Chicken lightly coated with a layer of flour or potato starch, then beautifully deep fried. Japan has their special way of making these deep fried chicken that's different from KFC or Western fried chicken. Karage has the crispy outer layer plus the juicy chicken meat. It is definitely a dish you should try. Then we've got tebasaki. Another great izakaya food is chicken wings, which is tebasaki. Different izakayas have their own take on tebasaki, like fried with soy sauce, deep fried with salt, served cold. Let your imagination run wild with this dish. Then we've got sashimi. Most izakayas have a great sashimi plate option where you can get a few different types of sashimi. If you're not really sure about sashimi, this would be a good option for you since you can try different kinds of sashimi and figure out which ones you like. Then we got tofu in izakaya. When you're thinking about what to eat in an izakaya, you probably don't think of tofu. You may think tofu is bland, but izakayas really spice it up. You can usually get plain tofu or deep fried tofu served with a dash of soy sauce, radish, ginger, green onion, and fish flakes. It might sound like a very simple dish, but it's amazing with different flavors and textures exploding in your mouth. Then we've got yakitori. Izakaya is probably where you get to try all your basic yakitori options. Most izakayas serve a mix and match yakitori plate with a range of skewers you can pull apart and share among the table. If you're not sure what yakitori is or the different types of yakitori you should try, check out this video right over here. There's so many different types of yakitori for you to try out, so in this video you'll be able to find everything you need to know about yakitori. The next dish is cabbage. Simple and yet the perfect dish to have with your meal. A lot of izakayas offer cabbage for free, or they have it on the menu where you can get free top-ups. It's common for izakayas to serve cabbage with miso or sauce on the side. Another dish you can try is yakisoba. You can end your meal with a bang with a delicious yakisoba. Yakisoba is a common Japanese dish. It's fried noodles with small pieces of meat, small vegetables like bean sprout and cabbage, along with soy sauce. There aren't many restaurants that serve yakisoba, or you might not have time to find a yakisoba restaurant, so having it while at an izakaya is probably the most efficient and convenient way to do it. Out of all the different food and drinks that I've recommended for you to try, which one do you like the most? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you want to find out more about Japanese food, Japanese drinks, Japanese restaurants, and places to go, make sure to subscribe and press the bell notification. We've got more videos coming your way, so definitely stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.